Welcome to Podcast with Nanz. On today's episode, I'll be interviewing the beautiful Kathryn Reddy. Hi, Kat. Welcome to Podcast with Nanz. How are you doing?
I'm well, and you?
I'm very good, thank you. So just reflecting on our relationship yesterday, we realized we come from the same school of Kathak, all the way back when we started. We were 8 or 10 years old, maybe.
Yeah, around there, sure.
And we schooled all those years of Kathak in Durban. We moved to Joburg. We even joined the Joburg branch.
We're in the same classes the whole way through.
The same classes, and we still didn't know each other until a very special Yajna. Hi, Yajna. A very special Yajna who brought us together at the Sea of Many Rivers.
Yeah.
Very long history, but not really at the same time.
Very long history. Although I did know you as a Tarana girl, and in classes I found myself levitating towards you. So if I didn't know it, then just followed you in the class.
Yeah, if there's one thing I love in Kathak, especially, it's that Teen Tal Taran. I think I nail it every single time, and I know it at the back of my hand. I can even do it in my sleep. Like, that's how well I know it.
That's true.
I remember calling you at the time of the Sea of Many Rivers, and I said to you, Kat, I've got the show, and I'd love for you to dance, and please will you come join us? Like, let's have some fun, let's make some memories. And the first thing you said to me was, Nanz, if there's politics, I'm out. What sort of politics were you talking about, Kat?
I think, so from my standpoint, it was more of politics in the dance community itself. Yeah. I had, fairly recently come out of recital, and there was some politics there, lots of tensions running high, nothing that you couldn't move past. But in the dance community itself, you kind of affiliated to one group and you dance with that group. And when you see and branch it out to either gain more experience or just more exposure or just for the love of dance, I think a lot of people don't understand that. And you hear the negative comments, and you kind of want the dance community to be together.
Yeah, it should be.
It should be, because it should fall under one banner itself. But, you're always coming across our style is better than yours, or, this is too commercialized, it's not so pure and authentic. And so you hear that, and it hurts. It affects you in a way.
It's off-putting.
Yeah,
I get that. I get that. And so, did you experience any politics at the Sea of Many Rivers? Because I didn't really see any. But I hope not.
Well, I heard about things later on, and I think for me it was kind of eye-opening, but it was also shocking from who I heard it from and where it came from, because it was people that I've danced with before, and to hear that this is what they said or what they thought of the performances or whatever it is, and it's like, but you know me.
Yeah.
So shouldn't that count for something?
But did they come in and kind of address it with you directly? Because, I'm sure you would have appreciated that sort of feedback.
I would have. If it's something about choreography, let's make it constructive criticism. Let's talk. Let's build each other up. Let's not talk behind each other's backs. And so nobody approached me directly. It was stuff I heard. So kind of hearsay. So you kind of have to take it with the punches. Is it really what was said? Wasn't it? And
weigh the options.
Yeah. You grow from it. So.
Yeah, that's how live and grow.
Find the silver lining.
Well, we try.
Yeah.
Where did Kathak start for you? How old were you when you started dancing, or where did you find your love for dancing?
My love for dancing was nurtured by my parents.
Okay.
I owe a lot to them for my entire dancing career. I think for any passion that I've liked or anything I've wanted to do, they've been my biggest supporters.
You're very lucky, because so many parents sort of don't encourage their kids to go down an art road.
Yeah.
So that's hats off to them for that.
Yeah. So when I was about 3, I think it was, they enrolled me in ballet classes.
3?
3. And
you probably only started walking at 3.
Yeah, but it was the core strengthening and basic things, but that's where a lot of your poise comes from and your structure, and so ballet was that, and I excelled in it quite a lot for the amount of time that I did. I did it for about 8 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah. And then my mom decided to, because we started doing cultural studies at school and, Hindi classes and Tamil classes in the Durban schools. And then I wanted to do everything Hindi way because of my mom. But anyway, she says, no, you need to do Bharatnatyam. And then she enrolled me in Bharatnatyam along with my ballet.
Okay.
I didn't take to it. I'm so sorry to
What
say it,
was
but
it?
I think it was the I won't say lack of structure because it is quite a strenuous dance form, and yes, it is a classical dance form, but it didn't sit well with me to, excuse the pun, to sit and dance, to bend, and my thighs didn't like it very much, and I felt it very, like rigid in certain parts of it, and I just didn't feel it. It didn't come from my heart, and I think I did that for about a year, and the dance classes opened up in my area where I was living in Hillgrove.
This is Kathak classes?
Kathak classes started up there, and the bhajan group that we were a part of, affiliated with in my area, I think it was sort of affiliated to them, and I attended the classes. And then I still remember it was from the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 step. I was hooked. And I think I identified a lot with ballet in that sense, with Kathak, because it's structured. There's lines. There's, you got to watch your form. You got to watch your core when you're dancing, and it's fast paced. It's energetic. So that's where my love just grew for it. My passion there.
And how long did you do Kathak for?
Oh, I think I started around, I could have been 6, 7 around there starting. And I think when I was 19, I think I was still dancing. And then I had this whole break in between because I moved to Johannesburg.
Yeah, we all did.
And I did try out other dance forms here in Johannesburg. Did
you try Kathak here as well? Did you try doing Kathak in Joburg?
I did.
Any other?
I did, but it wasn't my style, like our style of Gharana. Yeah. So I didn't really take to it. And then, it's what you know. And the fact that I knew that I was so close to graduating in Durban before I left, I think that also put a dampen on things, because now I've got to study from the beginning and go up and kind of be at the level where I am now. So it was a bit of a knock to me. And then I also took up belly dancing for a few years.
Yes, how was that?
It's also very structured.
What made you go into belly dance?
My mother.
Did your mom do belly dancing?
Yes, she did.
Wow.
She actually started belly dancing in Durban.
Yeah.
And then when we moved to Johannesburg, her teacher in Durban gave her the contact details for a school here. And she had her classes. She went to her classes, and I just joined the one day. And it's when you're a Kathak dancer, I think a lot of other styles, and I'm not bashing any styles, and especially not hip hop or anything, right? But it's a structure for a lot of dancers, and you can easily move yourself into other genres of dance. So belly dancing, for one, came very easy to me. I remember even skipping the entire beginner class, moving into intermediate level, and then moving into the professional side of things.
Professional meaning that you dance for functions and shows and all of that? Yeah.
Yes, and shows, and you build on your choreography and your dance portfolio. But there was still something missing in, I just didn't. As much as I liked it, it's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to complete Kathak. I felt like that was unfinished. And we got the call that the classes were opening up again in Johannesburg, and I was a for away. I'm there.
Yeah.
So
how was that experience? Going back after so many years, going back to Kathak. What did that feel like to you? I know we never bumped into each other in that class. Same class.
Same class. Yeah. No, I was always behind you. That's why you never saw me. But it felt like coming home.
It really did. I
It
felt the
really
same
did.
way.
It was just, I remember the first class going back home, and I'm just talking to my mom. I'm like, you remember this move, right? And then, and it felt it felt
Natural.
familiar, and it's the people that you're around, and it's people that you grew up knowing, and people that taught you back, when you were small, and like giving you a little snack because your hand's got to be straight, or whatever the case may be. But it was that nostalgic moment for me. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, me too. I think when I walked into the class, I felt like I was the 8-year-old walking back into class. And, the experience it would just come back to me, and it was just so, heartwarming.
Yeah, it was. And it was good to see everybody again. You don't actually realize how many of us are in Johannesburg now.
I think everybody from our Delta classes are all here.
Even our teachers are here, and it's so families have been made here and things like that, and now they come into classes with their kids, and it's such a different dynamic.
It's a nice experience, though. Yeah. And tell me about graduation. Kathak graduation was a big deal for you. I know that.
Yes.
I mean, this is the reason why you went back to Kathak after so many years.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, having to perform with Guruji and being back on that stage?
It was stressful. I think a lot of people don't know, if you don't understand what it takes to plan a show of that magnitude, which I think you do. It's a lot of stress, and people just see the final product on stage, and then they think either it's wow or whatever, not so wow. But they don't realize the amount of effort that goes behind it, from rehearsals to being upset with yourself because you can't remember a choreography or you can't get it right, and that discipline that goes with it, and there's no sleep at the end of the day. And I remember the day before my recital, for 3 hours I cried non-stop.
How come?
We were off stage. We were doing the final the dress rehearsal, and so Lata and I were in the wings, waiting to go back onto stage. It was like a jugalbandi almost style of dance. Yeah. And we in the wings, and Guruji can see us there, and he's watching us, but we're not talking. We're just rehearsing the moves that we're gonna go back onto stage with. And he thought we were talking, and he shouted. But it wasn't even like really that bad. But I think the fact that he raised his voice and I shook myself, and I think everything just kind of released at that point, and I just cried myself silly for the next 3 hours. But I think I needed it, because then I was
freer the next day.
You kind of like, okay, relax it out, and your mind is set, and you get onto stage and you dance your heart away.
Yeah. How was that experience, that final? I mean, I watched the DVD a few days ago, and what a beautiful graduation. What a beautiful performance you put on.
Thank you.
Like, really, really beautiful. How did that feel?
It was the sense of, oh my gosh, I'm finally here.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of all my years of hard work and waiting and
being shouted at.
And it was a beautiful experience. Also with a lot of mishaps that people don't see on stage, because we're so trained to actually just
work around it.
Like, don't let the audience see that something happened. So there was a point, right, on the stage when we did the Tarana, when we were doing the tals, actually, between so we did, it was myself, Lata and Dashika that did the one.
Yeah.
And between Lata and Dashika, I don't know, they like kind of knocked each other on stage. I don't know what they did, and so I don't know if you saw it in the DVD, but you probably wouldn't have, right? So they knocked each other on stage, but I was going in next to say my balls and to then do my thal.
Okay.
And then my thora, and then they knocked each other, so Dashika's glass bangles went flying.
Wow.
But at the same time, I felt like while I was dancing, I was conscious of my outfit, and I figured I don't think my outfit's pinned properly, and I'm very pedantic about this outfit being secured, and they hit each other. Dashika's bangles went flying, and I thought, this is my opportunity, and I went off stage and I did the whole airy flairy thing, and I was gone. And the person that's helping me get ready and stuff backstage, she was like ready with pins, so she pins me up, and
That's good.
and then you just hear, okay, Dashika's going to do this and whatever, and they start, the music stops, and then they start like picking up all the bangle pieces. So everybody thought I got cut. That's why I walked off stage, but I didn't, because it was my outfit. But then I came back, and then everything continued as normal. So it just looked like
Free flowing.
Yeah, it didn't even, and even like I was supposed to go first, but because I went off stage, Dashika went in, did her Thora, came out, and then I went into with mine.
That's beautiful.
So it just, it was amazing. And I cried at the end of my entire...
Such a crybaby.
I'm such a crybaby. I'm so emotional.
Why?
It was all that feeling, and, seeing my family in the audience, and, receiving that award, and knowing how hard I worked for it. And, it was just...
Are you an introvert?
I am.
Really?
Really.
Nobody would tell though, no?
It's I'm one of those things where if I don't know, like, I know you, so
we're loud together.
Yeah, we're loud together. Sometimes, although have you not noticed, sometimes I'm just like in my own head.
Yeah.
But I know, even going, okay, for example, I'm going into a new position, right? As of July. Yeah, corporate position.
Okay.
And I've been talking to myself in the car, like in my current,
Self-talk?
like as I drive to work, or if I'm driving anyway, then it's like, okay, you gotta remember to smile at people, pick your head up, don't look at your feet when you walk, okay, just remember, I'm actually prepping myself for this position.
It actually sounds like me on the set every now and again when I go, Nandini, Anthony, it's time to focus.
Yeah,
I also do that. I'm also an introvert, that's why.
I mean, it's just it's like I said to you, I also think it depends on the situation. I sometimes think I'm an ambivert, and then I think, okay, I'm an introvert. There's definite times I'm an extrovert, because how do you be an introvert but then get onto stage, and then like this entire different personality comes out, and
exactly.
I'm so comfortable with that. I love being on stage. I hate talking, so thank you for getting me here today.
I know, it's only a pleasure. Anytime, Kathryn.
I know, you just like bring me out of my shell, right?
So at the Sea of Many Rivers, you played a huge part, a huge role for me as a choreographer, especially of the dances that we did.
Yeah.
Which of the two dances? So we did Ghumar and we did Karmore. Those were your dances, your choreography solely. Which of the two were your favorite?
So I like both, obviously, because we all know I'm a fence sitter, right? But Karmore has a very... I think I liked it more for the intricacy of it.
Okay.
It was one of those things that it's different. It's not as easy. I think we all struggled with it.
Yeah.
I think, in myself included, even though I choreographed it, but we all struggled with it. But it was such a beautiful dance.
I don't think anybody struggled with this dance more than me. Because on the day of the show, in fact, the morning of the show,
you wanted to cut it.
I was this close to cutting out that dance. I just couldn't get it. But I don't know what it was. Maybe it was all the pressure. And I mean, I've sworn that I'd never dance at my own show again because of the.
And you should not do that. You should not. It is your show. It is your school, and you have to show your hard work.
No,
and plus that, you're a beautiful dancer.
Oh, thank you. But going back to Karmore, so what is your creative process? What was your creative process with that specific dance?
I listened to the song a lot.
Loudly. Yeah.
With earphones in the car, because I drive myself to work, so you just drive in the traffic. It's cool. And you find that as you listen to the beats, you kind of start putting these moves together. So, and sometimes I'm sitting in traffic, and then I'm like, okay, we need to turn around here. And I'm sitting in traffic and I'm doing this. And I think if you watch me in traffic, you'll probably think there's something wrong with this girl.
Yeah,
but it's,
especially she sells clothes. Now she's also trying to dance, choreograph
in the car. And then the first thing you do when you get out the car, and hopefully I'm at home at that point, is you just find a spot and you quickly like record this thing. Or even just write it down. Like put your hand in this. I don't know. It was, But I think even with Garmore, we were together when we even choreographed that first bit, and we listened to the song and listened and listened, and there was that one part where I just turned it. I just swung around, and I think it was a double turn with a stop halfway, and I said, "That's it." And you feel that leap in your heart, and you're like, "That's it.
That's the moment. Yeah.
That's the moment, and that's what I'm going with. And please, can we remember this?"
No, we have to record it because at our age we're not remembering anything.
Exactly. But that was... Look, Ghumar is also very special to me.
Yeah.
I actually did the dance for my best friend's night before. Was it her Mehndi night?
A wedding, yeah. Okay.
It was a Mehndi night, not a Hardi. So I did a dance for her because she asked me to dance.
Mm-hmm.
And then her entrance into the hall for her wedding was the same song.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that affiliation or this bond with that song together.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about Salisha, right? Your best friend.
Yes, Salisha.
Yeah. And this is the friend we actually bonded over.
Yes. Same one.
Same friend.
Yes.
Wow. I know she's very special to you.
She is.
And she did something special for you at the show as well, right?
Yeah.
What was that?
I felt like it was my recital all over again. Like people were just coming in. But she, there's nothing better than, having someone to share in that day with you, right? And for me, your show was very big because I was given the opportunity to choreograph.
Yes.
So that for me was it was a big thing.
Was it the first time you got to choreograph?
No, it wasn't the first time, but for your show and my choreography going in on such a big platform, it was a big thing for me, very big. So I remember my cousin came up from Durban for it, and friends were there, family was there, and then in this big day that I thought, that so means a lot to me. And my best friend Salisha phones me on the day before, and she's like, I'm sorry, I can't make it.
Oh.
And she lived in Middelburg at the time. And I thought, okay, it's okay, it's fine. We win some, we lose some, we'll video the dance and we'll send it to you. And the morning of the show, can I talk about that?
Yeah.
So the morning of the show, while I was still at home, because Nandini asked us to be at the show at 10 o'clock in the morning, even though the show was only at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening.
Yes, we work hard here. We work very hard.
So I woke up that morning and I thought, let me get my outfits ready because I don't want to be struggling with the dupatta. And okay, great. So pleating and pinning, but this material is not working out for me.
The scarving was terrible.
And so my cousin is noticing my temperature rising, and she decides she's noping out there. So she gets out the way and she goes and sits in the lounge. She's not coming anywhere near me. And eventually I just said to her, just come hold this scarf. So she's got her hands down on the scarf and we pinning, and then I tried the top on, and the one top wasn't working. So then I had a whole outfit change for your one dance.
Yeah, not just for yourself, for everybody.
For everybody, I just commanded them all. You would just wear the red top for Ghumar. You're gonna wear it for Garmore. On the black skirt, it's gonna look fine. Don't worry, nobody cares. Right, cool. So we decide all of this because now I'm angry. This outfit's not fitting. This scarf is not getting pleated.
Yeah,
and then my dad hands me the phone, and Salisha's on the other end, and she just talks to me normally. Oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there. I know you're nervous, and she always has the right things to say at the right intervals.
Oh,
and I cried and I spoke to her and I was like, okay, great, cool, thanks, and I'm feeling a lot better. And my cousin comes back in the room again with a cup of coffee and she's like, yeah,
And now you're back in.
And now I'm back
spirits.
into
Okay, good. I'm
mode.
very appreciative for her then. Because we don't want an angry
You know?
cat. Yeah, no.
But after the show, I get handed a bunch of a bouquet of flowers, and in that bouquet is a note, and it's about being my biggest supporter, and look up.
How special is that?
And I look up, and she's in front of me, and it was a whole secret amongst everybody that was there. They even wrote a card, but they lost the card, so she had to write on the receipt, the back of the receipt.
That's special.
and so she made it all the way from Middleburg. She was just pulling my leg, I guess.
Did you cry again?
I did. Both of us did. I've got a photo of that, actually. We both like hugging each other, but we're wiping our tears. So.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, but that's the thing. We always there for each other in times of need, and we know what each other needs without even having to tell each other.
Yeah.
So it's a very special bond.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. And I know she's suffering from cancer, and I wish her everything of the best for that. And
Thank
with
you.
it.
Yeah.
But still going back to the Sea of Many Rivers, what was your experience like?
Well, it was. I mean, we crammed a lot into a little space of time, right?
Just 8 rehearsals.
It's just 8.
Yeah.
It was just 8. 8. Are you sure?
I'm definitely sure. It was just 8. It was 8 many hours, yes. Maybe
Yeah.
5 hours a day.
Yeah.
But it was 8.
Sure.
8 of them.
No, it seems even because I was going to tell you it felt very like. I mean, our rehearsals were fine, but like I said again, you don't know what happens behind the scenes. And I'm coming home from work, and then I'm trying to choreograph at home, and then I'm making so much of noise in the veranda, and my dad's closing the sliding door on me, and it's like it was fun. It was lots of fun. I think I got to explore a side of me that I hadn't explored in a long time, because I've always had a passion for choreography. But it was like you create the dance, or you choreograph it, and then I'm dancing with a group of women that got it like immediately. It was such a breath of fresh air dancing with you again.
It's such a surreal experience, though. It was as if we were in one of our Kathak classes, and we're reminiscing about something that we've already done before, and everybody's just getting it. And at the time, I mean, not everybody in that class was a Kathak dancer. I mean, Shweta was there, and she'd never danced before in her life, actually. And she also got it.
You never say, though, right?
So nobody would ever say. But, everything just flowed. It just worked perfectly. It worked out for the best.
I think we were a good group together.
Yeah,
we understood each other. And anyway, from the entire thing, it was you, Shweta, I think, and Shreya that were not our recital group. So it was it was familiar to us to get back in, and we knew the boundaries we each could hit with our bodies or choreography. And it was also nice to know that if I wanted to change a move, I just had to say, okay, but I just feel like this is not working. And then it was like this, I don't know if it's because we danced together for so long, but people kind of understood what I was trying to say, or what the move was trying to look like.
Either that, or we were just so lost that we were just like, okay, Kat, whatever you're feeling right now.
I know that happened with Garmori. You were like, mm-mm.
Yeah, by the time
I think I really pushed the boundaries with Garmori.
I think you pushed my boundaries. I really feel like you pushed my boundaries. I mean, I literally, I don't even know. I mean, we look at the DVD now and watch that dance, and it's come out so beautiful. But that morning, I mean, I felt like I needed to bang my head against a brick wall because I just couldn't get it. It was the morning of the show, and I couldn't get that dance. And what a beautiful dance, and I'm so thankful to you for that. What about choreography? What is it about choreography that you like?
I think making sense of the music.
Yeah.
I think in Kathak we're taught to tell the stories, right? We're taught to bring in the emotion or feel the music itself. So being able to actually bring that out, and actually just music itself it's so expressive. and you get your body moving into that beat or whatever it is that you're feeling at that point in time, and you just knock it out the water. So
that ability of freedom of
if the freedom that me as an introvert doesn't generally explore.
I like that. I really like that.
It does, and I think that's where my whole personality can actually come through, and that's why I say I'm so different on stage. It's vastly different to what I am.
Yeah. Sure. And how what do you think we can do to make our show better or our dances better? What do you think we could have done?
Started choreographing earlier. I don't know. No, I have no clue.
Yeah, I do think so. I think if we there's always things we can do to better it, right? As from a dancer's perspective, maybe more rehearsal.
Look, as dancers in general, we are very critical of ourselves, right? So you watch a video and you think, shoot, I should have been looking in that direction. And it could be something so trivial, but you don't like it, and we're so critical. But what do you do?
It's happened.
Yeah,
there's nothing more we could change.
So, no, but I just think maybe more practice on ourselves, maybe just with our group dancing. That I think that would have been. And I know it's difficult because we've got lives. Y'all have families. I've got my parents.
And you still have a life. You still do other things that fill up your life, really. But
yeah, I love movies, so. And reading.
Oh.
And laying on the couch. So I've got a lot of things to keep my time busy.
Where to catch Reddy from here?
Yeah, that's a question I always dread in every interview, even in a job interview. But I think at this point, I think you would know, I've been in survival mode, if I call that what it is. With work and trying to be balanced there and find that work-life balance, and I think and I hope that I've now found that, so I can start exploring things better. More. Yeah, so maybe we can come back to that question in the next interview.
Yeah
I'm still finding myself now.
If you had to perform at another show, what show would you like that to be? Like what type of show?
I'd like it to be like a fusion, incorporating my different dance styles. So when I did belly dancing, for example, I was incorporating Bollywood and Kathak moves into it because it's very similar, right? Mm-hmm. When I did Kathak, I was doing some belly dance moves in it. When I did Bollywood, there's some belly dance. So there's like always that overlap, overflow. So something with like fusion, like
a lot more integration.
Yeah.
Where are you taking your dance from here? You've graduated, you've done Sea of Many Rivers. What are you doing with dance currently? Or where are you planning to take that?
I'd like to learn more. I would like to, if I ever get the chance to.
Yeah.
And hopefully if we put it out there, then we can just make it happen and just draw it back to us. But there's a dancer that I followed on YouTube and Facebook. It's Antara Astai.
Yeah, Antara Astai.
And it's just her way of dancing it just catches me every time. I love her footwork and I aspire to be that one day. And she does this one video where she's literally it sounds like a train moving, and she goes slowly and then she hits gets faster and then she comes back slower. And if you were not watching her, you would hear the train tracks. You would hear the train on the tracks literally.
That's amazing.
So I'd love to, at some point, if I can, go to Los Angeles and study.
And if you had to, so that would be the dancer that you would, or choreographer that you would want to maybe one day collaborate with, do you think?
Yeah.
Is she your favorite choreographer?
I've got many.
Share.
Okay, so I like B-Funk. So the two sisters that I think they're from Canada.
No, they're from the US. Shivani and Chaya.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love them. They've got this So it's a lot of bhangra with.
Yeah, it's Punjabi style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I've tried it watching YouTube at home, and don't think I can do it. I'd probably have to get private lessons from them, because I can't. I just it doesn't come naturally to me. So I need to try that. It's a good challenge.
They're very energetic as well, and
yes.
the movements are big.
And it looks easy, but it's actually not.
Hard, very hard. I've also tried
not
it.
easy.
Yeah, it's very hard.
It's Kumar.
Kumar Sharma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From Kathak Rockers.
Mm-hmm.
Svetlana I've been watching for a long time now.
Svetlana's beautiful.
Yeah. And then I don't even know Matt Stefanina. I know he's a lot on TikTok and YouTube.
I love
Oh, do you?
Matt Stefanina.
Love his stuff. Can't do it, but love watching it. It's
Yeah.
a treat to watch.
Yeah.
And is it Kyle
Hanagami.
Hanagami? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a beautiful,
His Shape of You choreography. Oh my gosh.
stunning.
I mean, the way they dance it, even there's like there's that one part. There's not even a beat there, but they've got this thing, and you hear the beat.
You hear
and you
it,
think,
yeah.
okay,
It's the strangest thing.
yeah, it really transports you.
Kat, what message do you have for other aspiring dancers and dance choreographers out there? What would you like to say to the youngsters?
You've got to be dedicated. You've got to put the time in. And now I sound like my parents, but you know it's Kathak as a whole, or even any dance form for that matter, it doesn't come easy, right? It's like with anything, it comes with practice and muscle memory. And okay, today it's hard, but tomorrow it's gonna be easier, and you've got to keep at it. Don't give up because it's hard. If you have that flair for it, go for it and just persist it. Yeah.
Well, it's been wonderful chatting to you on my beautiful podcast.
Thank you for having
I
me.
hope to have you again. And we'll chat
Sure.
again soon.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on today's podcast with Nanz. This episode today with Kathryn has been rather interesting. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment box below, as well as follow us on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, as well as Spotify. I'll see you guys next time.